Hey there, sports fans, and we're back. It's another episode of Dinner with the Captain. I'm John Dinner. This is Captain Steve Priolo, captain of your 3-3 Buffalo Bandits. Are we focusing on 3-3, or are we focusing on that three-peat? Where's the mindset at for the Buffalo Bandits right now? I know where it is for some of the fans. Panic might be setting in, but panic's not setting in the dressing room just yet, is it?
Yeah, it's like... We're looking at the 6 games at a time, right? That's how we look at it in those blocks, and 3-3 is not where we want to be. So it like kind of brings you back to the drop to Halifax, losing that game, and then obviously losing to Ottawa, and who was our other loss to? I don't remember, but that's funny, eh?
Yeah, it's you can. I think that's part of the success, right? Is like being able to move on from things like losses and those kinds of things. Sorry, it keeps bringing me back right to the Ottawa game. It just wants me to talk about that 10-9 loss. But irregardless, 3-3 in the first 6 games, not where you want to be. Do you think it feels a little bit heavier because of the changes that happened from last year to this year? Like, again, Cloutier and Frege being gone, and that being something that was, I think, a talking point because they went to Vegas for big contracts and stars and those kinds of things. Do you think that part of makes it? Because, again, we were talking about it. No strangers. You guys have had a couple game losing streaks last year. You lost 3 games in a row the year previous. But, I mean, put it together when it mattered the most. Yeah,
it's you start doing stuff where you're like you're looking at like what they brought. You know what I mean? It's like so what was the benefits of having someone like Chase and Chris, and like what were they doing for the team? And we're trying to see if that you got who
Rochester was the other one.
Oh yeah, Rochester, of course. Yeah. So then you start looking at things like, okay, so what did Chase do? What did Chris do? What did they do really well? And like how do we get those pieces back? Or is it important for us to have those types of players? And
if we don't have them, what do we have to do maybe a little bit differently?
Are we going to make Clay do what Chris did? Like, no, right? But it's like, okay, so what did Chris bring? What did Chase bring? And how do you... And I don't know if this is healthy or not to start thinking things this way, right? Because the team we have is the team we have, right? Yep. You're not going to go, oh, we need somebody to just do acrobatic flying through the air goals. Like, that's obviously not what we're missing. But what did Chase do? Did he get through the middle? Did he draw attention? Was he setting... I know he sets really hard picks, right? So, like, he was very physical. So, I don't know if that's like going to make the difference or not. At the end of the day, when you go back and watch a video, like, we have good looks on offense, man. It's like our offense is playing really well. I don't know if it's just need to put the ball in the net, or you just need to sort of deal with the fact that sports are sports, and we're 3-3, and it's like not all grim. Like, it's not as bad as
still
it
having
seems.
Lots of fun and scoring goals and playing defense.
But we're not doing things terribly. Like, we're growing, right? We're doing things. We are a growing team, right? We still have Matt Spanger out. Desnu goes down, and it's like, we lose Chris and we lose Fraser, and it's like we're kind of figuring out what we got going on right now.
And I think for a lot of fans, it sometimes it gets hard because of the incredible success of the last 3 years and the incredible success really of the last 5 years, and you can kind of like. It gets easy to forget the disappointment of those 2 previous and then the years previous to that, because it's all building towards something. But this is a good league, right? Like, these are good lacrosse players. Like, I mean, Jeff Teat, I know he's not the guy that brings the energy, but man, can that guy put the ball in the net,
he's a sniper. But he's also got like Rob Hellier now, right? So you're looking at and it's the cast that he's had for the last couple of years, and like you said about the league, it's almost the top teams are tighter than they've ever been, in my opinion. So like it's Saskatchewan's 1 year better than they were last year, right? And you look at all the signings that Vancouver made, and we're still really good. And Rochester's made, they get Zed. So all those top teams have kind of bolstered their rosters a little bit, right?
Yep. And again, trying to live up to you guys, right? And so again, every week that you guys are on the floor, you're getting the other team's best, right? They want the measuring stick. How do we compare to the Buffalo Bandits? You guys aren't sitting there being like, well, how do we compare to the Ottawa Bears?
Yeah.
Right? Like, hey, fair. Good team, right? But that's it's not necessarily your mindset.
That's a good point though. Like, how do we find that grit? Because it is like I think it's a lot like football, where every game is you're given 110%, right? Yep. Like, it's like every game matters, every weekend matters. Like, being 3-3 matters. Like, in hockey, 3-3, you're not even blinking. You're like, oh, there's still the beginning of the season.
There's 84 games left.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how good of math I am.
But football, it matters. Lacrosse, it matters, right? So every single time we go on the, like JT was heartbroken, not heartbroken. That's probably a little harsh, but he was pissed off, man, losing to Ottawa.
Yep.
Like, if you're
and a guy that put the ball in the net, right? When your team is only putting it in 9 times, I mean that hurts the coach. I mean, I coach little guys, and I feel the heartbreak when it doesn't go the way that you want it to go. And so, I mean, he's got to be looking at it, being like, what am I not doing to get the most out of these guys when we've sort of hung our hat on being an offensive team the last couple of years, right? Like as much as the defense, but the defense, for lack of is taking care of itself, right? You've been installed in there, and you guys have like the old heads, as we kind of like to joke about, and so it's like that's where he gets to make his mark, and 9 goals.
Yeah, nine's not enough.
I mean, you guys. I mean, I think and we've talked about this right from the start of this podcast, right? Like the goal each week is like keep them under 10, right?
Yeah,
and
man, our offense can be putting up 12 to 15 every game. Like they have that ability, right? But at the same time, when they put up 9, like our defense has the ability to hold team to 7 or 8, right? Like it's just hard, right? 4-2 would have been a lot better than 3-3, but you get in these positions now, and you start, you lose 2 in a row, and you start thinking, I even noticed myself doing it, where it's you start looking at like individual stats and all these unhealthy practices of it's not finger pointing, but it's like trying to find something to like grasp to, like, man, maybe at least I'm playing physical, maybe I'm playing good, maybe I'm playing explosive, maybe I'm covering these guys good, and you're trying to like grasp for things, and I don't think that's the right approach. I think when we start doing stuff like that, it's not great. Like our team's pretty good at not having, like, I call them stat whores.
Yep.
Like we don't have like we're pretty good at not having stat whores. Like we're not looking to sometimes we'll look around and be like, man, that's all over the guys all night, and they give me 0 cause turnovers, and you're like, but you just deal with that and move on. But when you lose 2 in a row, now you're sitting there going like, man, maybe I should send an email to the league, or maybe I should, and you're like, no, relax. Who cares? We need to win games. People remember winning games. Winning games changes everything. So how do I win games? What do I need to do? I need to get in the gym. I started doing the rower now on top of the assault bike and my running, and it's like now I'm doubling down on the cardio, because I'm like, I need to play the whole game. Like that's just the way I feel. If I need to play the whole game, I'll go play it, right? The video's now coming out, and it's like now we're trying to break down teams even more. How can you double down on the things that are working? It's just you can't start looking at like you can't start hoping like, oh man, at least I did some good things right, and maybe the league will recognize me with an individual accolade. Yeah. And you start doing stuff like that, I think that's just a terrible mental practice. You have to start thinking team first, get back on the winning streak. What can you do? Even if it's having less stats, maybe I got to start taking the man more and letting the next guy get the loose ball. Right. That sort of stuff, right? So
winning plays, right?
You talked
about that this summer, right, with Latrell, right, when he started recognizing just like the plays that were necessary and the plays that you guys were making on Six Nations on your way to that Man Cup,
because it's almost better. They just don't keep track of stats really in the summer league, so it just lets you play lacrosse the right way. It's really interesting, right?
And again, it's so hard, right? I mean, because again, I don't know. Do you guys jump on social media after games and stuff like that? Like I know you don't particularly, but
it's a lot easier when you win. Yeah. If you win, you're jumping on. You win and you score a goal. You're like, oh man, put me out. Let me look some stuff up.
Score a goal. I mean, I kind of joke because you got the halftime interview.
And if I score a goal, I get an interview. It's automatic. I don't understand it. Well, dude, I almost scored that one from like 80 feet. Yeah. Well, it did go in, but it
just
didn't beat the clock.
Yeah,
that would have been hilarious.
It was great. And again, could have changed something, because when we look at this Ottawa game, 2-2 after the first, 4-4 at halftime. You guys are up 7-6 going into the fourth, and they pop 4, and you guys only can put 2.
Jeff Theede has 3 of those.
Yeah, and he gets the fourth quarter hat trick, right? Yeah. And that's just, I mean, how much of that is because he hadn't been doing things right? We've kind of talked about like he's a guy that he puts the ball in the net and they can score 5 times, but like they might lose 11-10, right? And hey, he scored 5 goals, but they didn't win. But I mean, hey, fourth quarter hat trick. Yeah, like that's and again, there was an interesting stat in the game that Ottawa is the highest scoring fourth quarter team.
Yeah.
So did they do something in that fourth quarter that presented a challenge, or was it just? I mean, again, it was such a tight game the whole way through that it was just, hey, they got 3 in a row to our not?
Well, the only one power so you had 2 power play goals in the game.
Did you guys get a power play this?
Dude, so the Zed. So Zed Williams with the slashing call 1 second into the Rochester game.
Yeah,
that was a power play for us, and then we haven't had a power play in basically 8 quarters.
Yeah,
2 games, which is nuts. Like not having a power play in that long after with an athletic offense like we have that gets through the middle and is carrying the ball. It's like,
and is that maybe part of it? And this isn't again to be picking on things, right? But is that like are they not getting through with the force to cause it, or is it because they go every time the referee could? I mean, you could literally blow the whistle every single time. So now that's just like, well, we don't.
I don't know, man. Like I've never seen a holding possession call before in my life. Like Dane got dragged to the ground. They gave it was a possession call, and you're sitting there going like, that's a penalty. Not a penalty. Like, although on the other side of things is like I kind of like the lacrosse the last couple of games. Like I like it a little rougher. I think it needs to be like that, even though it actually doesn't benefit our team. This goes back to like 2022 where we had an athletic offense, man. We were so good. And then once playoffs hit, it's just like the rules just change.
Right.
All of a sudden holding's allowed. All of a sudden off ball slashes. Like they just let us play way more rough. And then, so that was JT after that, after 2022 was like, okay, we need Bomberry. We need Sweeting. We need guys that are just going to hold guys, beat on guys. We need to play playoff lacrosse the whole year. It's going to affect our standings, but it'll benefit us once we get to May. And right now, I feel like we're playing 2022 lacrosse, where it's like we're being pretty and all this, and we score nice goals, but at the same time, we're getting upset when we're like
getting the call.
We're not getting the call, right? And it's like
leave that to the fans.
You got to get built. You got to get built tough. Like it doesn't hurt. It's not like they're being hurt. They're the plastic sticks don't hurt. The bruises all heal. All this stuff. It's hurting us emotionally. Where it's like I should be getting to the net and I'm not. And it feels like they're cheating to prevent us from going to the net. But you have to get rid of that mindset and just grit your teeth sometimes and be like, okay, I'm just gonna, if I can't get to the net, I'm gonna spin move and go across and cross pick somebody and blow them up. Like they're letting us play hard. But back to Teat here is like, so he scored one from Rob Hellier, which I don't quite remember that goal. And then I remember I think it was then they had a 5-on-3 in the fourth quarter. You're like, great, now we have a 5-on-3, so that's awesome. That's power play. And then the one with 4 minutes where he somehow he ended up with Dane on him, checking him after a long shift for Dane, and he got over top and just let an absolute laser beam go. And it's funny too because I was like,
and it's posting in every time.
I was covering my guy behind the net, and I was like seeing Teat swing, and I'm like, last year I jump in front of the goalie and block that shot. And if you watch me in it, I try to jump in, then I have to get out of the crease because I don't want a penalty. And it's just such a screws with your mind, right? You're like,
and how much is that?
Like last year, I would have went right in front of Vino and just tried to save it. And that would have given him half the net to save it instead of having to worry about the whole net.
Right.
Because when Teat sweeps, so that's the problem with guys sweeping over top is that they have all 4 corners to shoot at. So you're trying to eliminate that at all. Give Vino the best percentages to save the ball, basically.
And that's young kids, right? When you're thinking of a place to go, right? Dive into your side. You want to sweep over that top, right?
Sweep over top, get across the middle.
Give yourself lots more to shoot at. But how much is that rule change, right? I mean, I think they've jokingly called it the bandit rule, right? Where you just can't be in the crease to block shots. The only time you can be in the crease now is to sort of protect from the crease dive from behind, right? Does that go for crease dive in the front too? Like if someone's coming across and if
someone's coming across and you play goalie, it's a penalty. Yeah. But if they dunk from behind the net, you can play goalie. Okay, which is bizarre to me.
Yeah, that
happened to us. Like Bucky tried to crease dive, or whoever maybe it was Doga, and their guy just went and played net.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, wait, I'm remembering this. I think they said he would have been charged with a penalty, but the infraction was stepping in the crease first.
Gotcha.
So because it was crease
because
violation
it was a no
first.
Goal,
because it was a crease violation first, then they didn't call the penalty on the
Which then you could argue, right? Chicken and the egg as well. He stepped on the crease because he adjusted.
Because he had to adjust. You're right. That's a good point. I should have said that.
You think that would have changed the referee's mind? Totally. I'm sure, right?
How many times have I changed the ref's mind? I have changed the ref's mind quite a few times.
Yeah.
I changed it from me not being in the box to being in the box. 10 minutes. See you later.
But and then not to pick on Buffalo, right? But obviously lots of heartbreak in Buffalo right now with the Bills going out in the way that they do, and so again you talk about a team that's getting no power plays for almost two full games now, and then I mean the sporting world doesn't seem to, or the sporting gods don't seem to smile brightly on Buffalo. Does that weigh on it too?
I don't know. Maybe on the fans a bit.
Because I mean, we know, right? And conceptually, even the fans know. Conceptually, it's there's not a conspiracy out against Buffalo, but man, like that catch, that's not a catch 2 years in a row. That's called differently and goes against Buffalo both. It goes
against Buffalo both, and then
and then the later in the
week,
day,
or the next day, or was the same catch, and they call it the other way, and you're sitting there going like, I don't understand.
Yeah,
but that's it. Like Buffalo,
so that's what when you talk about the emotions of it.
Yeah, like the fans are so great. Like they're always thanking. Yeah, look at fans hooked us up with all this stuff.
Yeah, man, it's great.
So it's like they're thanking us for bringing championships to the city.
Yeah,
right. And they say things like no matter what happens, like you guys brought championships here, right? And like that idea of that is, I don't know. I love that, and I think that's what someone like Josh Allen wants to do, right? It's like you see the passion in the fans, and if you can bring them a championship, like they're forever happy. Yeah. It doesn't matter what happens the next year, like they're forever happy, right?
Are the Bandits fans forever happy?
Dude, they're great, man.
They are great.
They're so.
And they're loud, and they're supportive, and they're filling the barn. And
we're losing games, and it's 19,070 till the end.
Well, dude, I mean, hey, the two games that you guys have lost, like these last two, like wow, what entertaining, awesome games to watch, right?
Yeah,
like to be in
and they've
Rochester.
Been fun to play in, dude. Yeah. Like they're stressful. They're knowledgeable. Like you have to make chess moves, you have to make adjustments.
So let's talk about like the end of that game. Like, I mean, they're up 1. They've got the empty net, and they don't go for it. I know they're trying to kill the clock.
That was crazy by them.
Crazy, right?
Actually, though, I forgot about that. Kevin Brownell, X-Bandit, one of my buddies. Like,
was that part of it? Maybe like he
how
just
do you
all of a
not
sudden, like,
put the ball in the net?
Put the ball in the net. Like, I mean, having 40 seconds on the clock with the 2-goal lead is better than having. I think it would have been still 11 seconds left on the clock if they had just run it right out. But he couldn't hold on to the ball because I think everybody was, and even himself was a little bit surprised by like, what did I do? Why?
But was it 40 seconds? You think?
I think it was
something like that. Eh?
Yeah, it might have even been a little bit longer. Like
so that's
because you ended up having 2 shots at it, and again, and then it's something like, and Dane gets loose, and I mean, just kind of pulled it wide, and I know he's trying to place it, and he's trying to rip it, and
he has that short side bounce shot that. Like he beat Higgins, Higgins moved. He had the whole net. He just had to stick it.
Yeah.
But I think that what Kevin Brownell must have been thinking is like, if I put this in the net, that there's too much time on the clock because now Farrell has a chance to.
So and maybe there's even more than 40 seconds.
he must have been thinking that like there's like a butter zone, right? Of like, under 30, you want to try to run it out.
Yeah.
Really, right? But like, I don't know, man. 30 to a minute, like I'm putting that ball in the net. Anything over a minute, like I guess you're putting it in, yeah.
It was just it was something else, but it certainly made for an entertaining finish. And if you're watching that game, it was really something else. And again, you guys were kind of clawing back there, and it just felt like, man, if you just had 4 more minutes, it was going to go the Bandit way. And I mean, and then that gets me to my last thing that I want to talk about. All of this is like 3-3. But 2 losses to sort of finish it off the 6-game segment. Is this the punch in the mouth that the Bandits needed to like get things going right? Like you're 3-1, and so you're feeling great, but maybe there were some habits that weren't great.
I think so. To be honest, like we had a good talk with JT on Monday, really good talk, and just like personally, it's the kick I needed, right? I've been trying to get things organized here. We have comments, we have things to do at work, like we have stuff going on, and now it's like have I? You just do self-reflection. Have I been doing enough? I know I've been going to the gym. I know what my Whoop says. I know what my calories are burning. I know what I'm doing, but like, is it enough, or is it kind of just like I'm working all day and being busy, and it's like, oh, that's good enough for the day, right? So I've been like focusing on like making sure I do hit my cardio things, hit my weightlifting, plus do the skiing and do all the other stuff we like to do, right? So like for me, it's you get these mindset shifts, right? A lot of times it happens around like New Year's for people where it's like, well, I'm going to quit drinking and I'm going to do things, right? And for me, it's like mostly like, I'm not going to be, woe is me, I'm 37 and my fucking body hurts. Like,
speaking of which, happy birthday, Cap. We missed your birthday.
Oh shit, yeah. Yeah, like to me, I'm just right now, I'm just focusing on my body and my mind and getting it dialed and getting ready to go. And I think going into this bye weekend is actually good because it allows us to ruminate on it a little bit longer than normally we would.
Sort of keeps that hunger going. Like,
yeah, like the group chat's been pretty lively tonight. Like, I think guys are just going to get after it tonight. Gonna go after it. Not drinking wise or anything. No, but like go work out and go do all that stuff and stay focused. Watch lacrosse this weekend. Like, so I think it'll be good. Yeah, I know like it's not like ideal, but I think I feel a shift. I feel like oh shit, our backs against the wall. Like, are we gonna have a good season or are we gonna implode early? Yeah.
And I think again when you kind of have these moments where it's got to be better earlier than later, right? Like
always.
Like so you've got that time to make that switch and get that hunger. And I would imagine that after last week's loss, you're kind of like, well, I would just want to get back at it, right? Like there's that kind of that feeling. You talked about it after the Rochester game where it was just like, I felt like I needed to keep playing. Mm-hmm. So the bye week sort of comes at the good time, the wrong time.
I think it's coming. Well, we don't know.
Yeah.
I always say this. I never know until the next game. But I think it'll be good because, like you said, after the Rochester game, it was hungry to get back after it. After this one, we're like, we got to figure out what the hell's going on here. We need to there has to be something because everything feels too good to be losing these games.
Right.
You know what I mean? It feels like we're making the right adjustments. It feels like we're doing things the right way. It feels like we're all in shape still. We're still doing everything we need to do. So it's like, what is missing? What piece is missing? What, like, I don't know. And again,
is it just those like that? What do they say? Rising tides raise all boats. Is it just these teams are getting better and you run into, again, teams that are motivated to?
I don't think so, man, because when you think about the championships we won in the past, like how tight every one of those games were, right?
Yep.
You know, Georgia in overtime and you know, all these, you know, Saskatchewan in 3 and you know, Colorado in 3. It's like, it's tight. It's a tight league. You have to play it. And playing Toronto down to the seconds, like literally down to the milliseconds, knocking Toronto out, what, 3 years in a row?
Yeah.
3
Making it hard. I have to admit that when we first started up here and we would arrange these games to go down for the Bandits games, I was clearly in the rock corner, right? And be like, okay, all the students can go cheer for Mr. Priolo and the Bandits, and here's my home team. And you've made it a lot harder to do that, and part of that is the eliminating them, but obviously our relationship growing and all of that kind of stuff. But it has been. It's easy to forget when you look at 3 championships. You're like, oh, look at that dominance, and then you go back and look at it. And that's what I was even when I was looking at for this week's podcast. I was like, oh well, 2 games in a row. Like maybe that's the first time in a while. And then I was like, oh no, you lost 2 games in a row last year, and oh, you lost 2 games in the road the year before, and then 3 games in a row. Like so it's like you guys haven't been strangers to that. And then like you said, those games in the playoffs were they're so tight that it gets easy to forget that. Like sort of the blood, sweat, and tears, and so is that part of it then for you guys as a squad too? Is like you're coming in and you're going after a 4th championship, and so it's almost like, well, like we'll just figure it out at the end when we're battling for that 4th championship.
Yeah, I hope guys aren't thinking that. Like,
but I mean, even if they're not thinking of it, like
is it looming in the air?
Yeah, like kind of in the back. Like I know like you never talk about shutouts, right? And when it's in the midst of happening, and like we didn't really talk too much about the 3-peat last year. I mean, I would throw it out every once in a while as kind of like a joke, but like are you guys talking about what it would mean to be a team that's in the modern era to get 4 championships in a row?
No, dude.
Yeah.
You can't talk about it. Like you can't let it like enter the change room, right? Because the games, it's just, I don't know.
But the goal every year is to win the championship, right? And do you make a conscious effort to make it stand alone?
I don't know. Is it like, yeah, 4 in a row would be epic, right? But like each season has its own story. So it's, yes, they're 3 in a row championships, but each one of those championships has its own story of like how we got there, right? So it's kind of like it's hard to look at the end of the book when you're like building the story along still. So what we're doing right now at 3-3 is we're trying to figure out our next chapter, right? Heading into this next 6. And we used to find ways to like win games at the end of the fourth. In the fourth, we would really lock it down, and then our offense would turn it up, and that's been like, I guess, like the Buffalo way, right? Actually, the Buffalo way is kind of like come out, let them score first, and then end up tied after 1, and then second we're usually down about 3, and then we go to half, and then there's usually no goals in the third, and then fourth quarter we turn it up, and then we win by 1 or 2. It's like this weird pattern of like, it just happens all the time. But now it's like, I don't know, man. We seem 1 goal short at the end of the game, like 1 or 2 goals, and it's like our triumphant comeback at the end of the game is like, maybe we need a different strategy here. Maybe we need to not be losing. We were winning going into the fourth, and we found a way to lose, right? So it's like, I don't know.
Well, and again, penalties. I mean, a 5-on-3 in lacrosse is pretty tough to defend, and it takes, and again, such a game of momentum when you play with a shot clock and those kinds of things, and so anything can happen. But when you talk about writing that story, that's what gets me excited about this podcast and what we're doing, is because we've sort of been like chronicling the stories over the last couple of years, and I'm excited to see where this goes, because I look at it, and you guys got another big test, right? Like you're heading out west, you got to go to Colorado, always a tough place to play when you travel, everything else that's been going on, right? Like we're here, we're doing this on a Friday night when we're normally trying to do it on a Monday, but snow days and all the snow, Highway 11's closed. Did you make it down for practice this Wednesday?
No,
right? Like,
I think practice was on, but there was like 4 or 5 of us that weren't able to go.
Yeah.
Like there was no way I was driving in that on Wednesday, especially the return trip coming home, right? Because if it was gonna chill out for the way home, then I'd be fine. But like it was ramping up into Thursday. I'm like, I don't need to be in this. What are we doing?
No, and it was wild. Like I mean, I know everybody's got lots of snow and it's cold and whatever else, but the snow that landed Wednesday night into Thursday morning for me was the most snow that I can remember in that kind of 6-hour period. Like I cleared my driveway, everything was ready to go, and okay, if we get another 7 or 8 centimeters, we'll be all right. And I came out, and literally 1.5 feet had fallen, and at the end of my driveway, it's drifted up almost 4 feet at the end of my driveway, and it was something else. And so lots of people are obviously dealing with that, and so big shout out to those that are out there in the plows and keeping the roads safe, and the first responders that are doing, and I mean, a massive pile up on the Highway 11, and
it's like just the third one this week, though, dude.
I thank my lucky stars when I think about how much we've driven up and down these highways. So, I mean, especially you, but again, people that are all over Ontario going down and they're playing lacrosse or hockey or whatever it is to go and give really great experiences for their families, and just how, again, these margins for error, right? And so it sort of puts lacrosse in its proper place, which is the medicine game and the creator's game, and it gives you that kind of moment to pause and sort of put everything into perspective and just go out and play and do something hard and do it well and enjoy it. So coming out of 2 losses and a bye, headed to Colorado, what's the captain's message, or what's the coach's message? What's the mentality to get this, I guess, back on track?
I went backcountry skiing on Sunday. I went with Jackie, and we went, because we played on the Friday. Saturday was travel day. Sunday was, we just went to our property and we threw on the backcountry skis. And like you're talking about with the snow, it's like, these skis are sweet too, by the way. They're like just these fat things, and you can just float on the snow. So we took the marshes and the lakes and over the hills and just went back and back and back, and it just gets so quiet and so nice back there. And like, it was exactly what I needed on that Sunday, was just move my body,
movement is medicine.
Be outside. It was beautiful. It wasn't cold yet. Like now it's -30, so that's sweet. But it was nice, the odd time you just like lay down in the snow, like just fall backwards, and you're just laying in it, and you're like, man, I could actually just lay here and sleep. and then your dog comes over and starts licking your face.
I had a much different experience as I was trying to snowshoe a trail for my dog, and then my leg cramps, and I'm sitting in the snow, and I'm thinking, oh, wow, our leg cramp 100 years ago would have killed me.
Yeah, great. It would have eaten by a bear. Perfect.
But
yeah, man. So that was important for me, is to get back to that and to do all those things that just make you happy, right? And it's like you can't dwell on things, right? You move forward. So, spend time with the family, get outside, get my body moving, Monday, early morning practice, and get after it, right? You start it over again. So it's like, I think it's important to stay in the group chat here and make sure this weekend we're working out as if we had a game, push our bodies to those limits this weekend, because it's an opportunity to actually gain on people and not fall behind, right? When I see other people playing lacrosse and I'm not playing, I'm like, oh, they're getting better on me. Like, don't ever let somebody get better on you. Like, always take those opportunities to get your stick in your hand, or get in the gym, or go for a run. It's like, oh, you're running, you're going to run 10 laps, I'm going to run 11, right?
Right.
You don't get better on me, I get better on you.
I'm going to take this as an opportunity to not take the hits and the sticks and the balls and everything else to the body, and actually now grow in a different way.
Yeah. Recover, stretch, workout.
So
run.
what will you do tomorrow? Like, will you wait till game time kind of thing? Will you try to mimic almost a game day routine a little bit, or
you want
just
to
find a point?
Mostly it's like it's your circadian rhythm, like your sleeping is the hardest part to like regulate. I need to be awake at basically 4:30 to like 10. And 10 usually gets like sort of pushing it. I'm usually like sort of falling asleep at that point during the week here, right? Yep. So it's like for me to start doing that stuff. So like, what did I work out today? Like 5:30 to 7 sort of thing. It's a bit early, like you want to be, but we're here 10 o'clock at night and we're still awake. So yeah, it's like you gotta be like amped and awake at those points, right? So I don't know. Maybe I got to start sneaking naps in during school.
Because that is a game day routine, right? Is getting that sleep in.
Come on, Dave. I'm doing my game day routine, bud. I'm going to have a little cat nap.
Yeah, put on the podcast and go to sleep, because we've got the sultry sounds of our two voices that can take you into La La Land.
Me talking about skiing. Perfect.
But yeah, so Colorado, what's the travel like? So you travel down and fly out Friday?
Yeah, I think so. I think we got our schedule. Yeah. So yeah, Friday, I don't know. We're going to go for dinner or something.
Yep.
We got our San Diego schedule. We're going to practice in San Diego. So that's got to be coming up soon anyways. Then maybe a couple weeks, March maybe.
Yeah, I think that's March.
Yeah. So we'll practice Wednesday and then fly out Friday to do the Colorado thing.
And then what's it like? I mean, Mile High City. Do you feel it?
Yeah. We'll yes and no. We'll talk about it, I guess, after that game. But it's like,
tell you how it feels.
So yeah, every time I've gone there, you're always like, you don't think about it, and usually the first couple shifts are like you kind of breathing hard, and then it kind of goes away, and you just like start playing your game.
Right.
Like, I don't know, other teams play there. Other Georgia went in there and stomped them, and teams go in there and play the Denver Nuggets and Avalanche and all these things, right? So it's like. It might be an advantage, but it's not that much. It can't be that much of an advantage. It's just, yeah, I don't know.
All right. Well, and there's a few changes that and again, another team that's probably not exactly where they wanted to be, but kind of where people thought that they would be. The kind of after the changes, losing Zed and stuff like that at 4-2, but with the way that the standings have gone, that's got them in second place.
Oh my gosh.
So I mean, really, only Saskatchewan sort of established themselves as 6-1, and I think I saw some pundit say it's Saskatchewan's title to lose, which is always interesting to say a third of the way through the season. But 3-3 has you sitting on the outside of the playoffs, but in front of you is 4-3, 3-2, 3-2, 4-2, 4-2. Like that, I mean, nothing's out of reach and nothing's done. So stick around. All right, the story is yet to be written.
Dawson Theede to.
Oh, that's right.
Dawson
Yeah,
Theede
big trade.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, we talked a little bit about it, right? Like Oshawa wanting a little bit of size,
Toughness.
But, yeah. And he brought that, right? That you played with him in Six Nations and what he does. But we also talked, I mean, again, another opportunity for a local boy, Jason Knox. Now, I mean, maybe a little bit of confidence boost there, that's saying, hey, we can get rid of the big wide body and bring a little bit more speed. And he's got to be feeling.
I think
good.
that must have been part of it too. Like their left side was just sort of too slow, and that's fine. But I think also, Oshawa giving up a first for Dawson. Dawson's great and everything, but this early in the season, I feel like that's a lot to give up for somebody. So they're obviously hungry for a lefty and some toughness, right? So
yeah, I mean, they are a young squad, right? And so he's coming in, and I mean, he probably instantly is one of the biggest guys on the team, and might even be one of the older guys too. Would you say? I mean, does he have the is he a leadership kind of guy? Like, is he a guy
Dawson?
is he gonna be someone that's vocal in the?
For sure.
Yeah.
He's a glue guy where he's like I don't know if he's gonna be the captain of your squad or anything, but he's definitely a glue guy. A lot like Bryce Sweeting was for us, right? He's just vocal, talking to everybody, just in everybody's business in a good way, and he's like that in the change room, right?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and so again, adds to the story because you got Oshawa to finish off the season, so you'll see him one more time at least. And it's they're all the way out in Colorado next Saturday night, 9:00 Eastern start. So. Bandit land. I don't know. I mean, they travel well, and Colorado's been a popular place for some Bandit fans to go. But most of us will be tuning in and listening. And so stick around, and when we're going to be back, probably just in a couple of days, and we'll talk about what we saw over the bye weekend, and maybe get an opportunity to talk a little bit about some of the other teams in the league on our next episode. So as always, Cap, always great. We're here in Lady Eaton's cabin, and there's no better place to talk lacrosse.
Yeah, buddy. It's crazy, man. What you just said about Saskatchewan's title to lose is just like sits in my stomach right now. And just people saying that and like hearing that come in, it's just, it makes you want to just be better. It makes you want to like go out there and just prove people wrong. I don't know where that comes from or whatever, right? But I understand that they're 6-1 and they're playing good lacrosse and everything, right? But at the same time, in this league right now with us and Vancouver and all this, to start making those calls this early, it almost lights a fire under you. You know what I mean? Well,
I think that's my job, right? Is get you. That's why I take a lot of credit. Not many championships in recent Bandit history until you came to RLC. All right, everybody. Really thanks for tuning in, and we'll check you in just a few days.
Thanks, buddy.
Way to go.